Welcome to Corey's Conscious Living.
Hello, my favourite friend. If you haven't joined Cat Club yet, please talk to your mum, your dad, your guardians, your grandparents, whoever it is that's in charge, and ask them if you can join the Cat Club. You'll get 3 exclusive Heidi, Cherry and Vaya stories every month on the 7th of the month. I hope you can join and become part of the family. Namaste, my little friend. Enjoy your story. Are you ready to meditate with Corey? Lie down and make sure that you're completely comfortable. Everything is just right in your room so that you can let your body relax and let go of your day. Once upon a time, in a faraway place, in the middle of nowhere, there was a farm called Ratabilly Farm. On that farm, there was a little girl called Izzy who loved rats. Izzy had lots of pet rats. She had 2 pet rats to start with. It was one of the things that she'd wanted for the longest time. And on her 8th birthday, she got 2 rats. One called Harriet and one called Lucinda. The rats were so sweet and loving, and they were already, even though they were so small, starting to show their personalities. Then something crazy happened. After 4 weeks of having Harriet and Lucinda, Harriet had babies. Little did Izzy know that the rats, when they came, that Harriet was already pregnant. Harriet had 2 babies. They were called Pip and Squeak. So the family all together was called Harriet, Lucinda, Pip and Squeak. The story is all about those 4 rats. We could just call them the rats. The rats that lived on Ratabilly Farm were all very, very individual. Harriet, the mummy, was always happy. She was a fun mummy, and she always liked to be hugged and squeezed by Izzy. She was always happy to play, and she was always friendly. Harriet was a very nice mummy. Lucinda, the other mummy, was a big boss. She was the boss of the family, like the matriarch. She was quite stern and more serious, but she could still be very loving. Pip was the adventurer. She was a little troublemaker, but at the same time she was a sweetheart. She was very fun and kind, but she liked to get up to naughty stuff. She was always adventuring, always in trouble, but always fun and sweet. And then the runt of the family was Squeak. Squeak was a little bit of a loner. And I call her the runt of the family because she was the smallest. She was shy. She was still nice and loving, but she liked to keep herself to herself, and she wasn't that friendly. The rats, Izzy's rats, were always up to something. On this particular day, they'd all gone for a walk down to the duck pond. The duck pond was a big pond on Ratabilly Farm that had about 20 ducks on it. Lucinda said to everyone, "Now stay close by. Stay close by. We don't want anyone wandering off too far away and getting lost." Harriet said, "Don't you worry, Lucinda. Pip and Squeak know the way by now. Just let them have a bit of fun. You don't always have to be worrying and on guard. Lucinda said, "Well, you never know. You never know. You have to watch from above. You never know if there's any hawks flying over. We're the perfect snack for a hawk. You have to watch from the left. You have to watch from the right. What if the dog's out? What if the cats are out? And then if those ducks aren't in a very good mood, we're done for." Harriet said, "Lucinda, it's all going to be okay. We're all watching. We'll all be careful. Stay close by, kids." Pip and Squeak were running behind them not too far, playing. Pip was climbing on everything, and Squeak was trying to keep up. But since her legs were a little bit smaller and her body was a little bit smaller, she was trying to run twice as fast just to keep up with Pip. Pip wanted to climb trees, to roll around in the dirt and jump in the puddles. Squeak thought all of that sounded terrible. And to be quite honest, she'd have rather have stayed at home. When they all eventually arrived at the duck pond, Harriet and Lucinda, the mums, unpacked a little backpack of a picnic that they'd brought. There was cheese, lettuce, carrots, and then there was everybody's favourite, some sunflower seeds. Harriet laid down the blanket, and everybody sat down next to the pond on a sunny day to have a picnic there on Ratabilly farm. Sometimes the ducks would swim over and talk to the rats, quack away about the day, and then sometimes it would just be very, very quiet. And the rats would all lay and just relax in the sun. Pip wanted to go and play around the pond. Lucinda said, "Of course not." Harriet said, "Of course you can, but you have to be careful." Lucinda said, "You are much too soft with those kids." Harriet said, "Everything will be fine, Lucinda. I'll keep an eye on them." Pip wanted her sister Squeak to come along. She tried to get her to play. She tried to get her to be more adventurous, to climb the trees, to jump, to run. Squeak tried, just to please her sister, but she really didn't enjoy it very much. She'd have much rather stayed on the blanket where it was nice and quiet in the sun. She could have been laying down in her own little world. Squeak liked to daydream. And when she daydreamed, she would go on her own adventures in her mind, things that she wanted to do. Her favourite daydream was the one where she pretended that she lived in a castle. And in the castle she had a very pretty bedroom. And in the bedroom was everything that she'd ever wanted. Squeak liked to paint. There was an easel and every single colour paint that you could think of. Squeak also liked to play the violin, and in this bedroom she would play the violin. She would dance around like a ballerina. She was always on her own in her daydream, and her bedroom was like a palace in itself. Her bed was super tall and soft. She had every single stuffed teddy that she wanted. The room was full of dolls and toys, things that she liked to play with. As it was, Squeak always had to share a room with Pip, and to her that was a little bit annoying, especially because she liked to be on her own, with being shy and all. That was her perfect time to be alone, in her mind, in her most favourite bedroom. You could definitely say that Squeak was a very big daydreamer. And Pip, well, Pip was just Pip. Everything she wanted she did, and she lived it right there in the moment. There was no daydreaming for Pip. If she wanted to have fun, she had fun. If she wanted to go and do something crazy or adventurous, she would go and do it. Nothing ever stopped Pip. They definitely had very different personalities. When it was time to go back to the house at the farm and go back to Izzy's room and go back into where they stayed in her room, which was a very luxurious rat cage, I must say. It had different compartments in it where the mums stayed together if they wanted to, and the babies stayed together if they wanted to. And sometimes they would all swap around and stay and sleep in different parts of the cage. When they got back, everyone settled down to go to sleep. It'd been a long day adventuring down at the duck pond, and each one of them was pooped. They were so tired. Harriet and Pip snuggled in together, and Lucinda and Squeak, the less friendly ones of the bunch, snuggled up together. The lights went dark. Izzy fed them all their favourite treats. It was time to have a little rest. Because when Izzy went to bed, that's when they really woke up. As rats are nocturnal, and most of the time they're much more active at night than they are in the day. But you can't lay in the sun at the duck pond if you do it at night time. That's why sometimes they make exceptions. The end.